Welcome back to another Durst product overview. Today we're looking at the Durst range of chargers, the BCS range. Durst is the leading manufacturer of the industrial, automotive, mining and charging diagnostic equipment industry. Designed here in Australia since 1918, Durst is a name you can depend on. So today we're looking at the Durst Blue range. As you see, it's the full anodized heatsink alloy casing of the Blue range, which are the BCS chargers. This is more your industrial heavy duty type, more range variants of volts you can actually get out of these range of chargers. They again are fully automatic switching mode charger. What does that mean? It means that it works out what the battery is requiring, whether it's empty or it's high or it's low, and it will use an algorithm to sort of like work that out and give it either a bulk charge, initially absorption charge, or it'll give it a float charge. It's very clever the way it does that and keeps it optimum health of your battery. And this is an interesting product range. We're looking at obviously 12 volts, 24 volts, 36 volts, or 48 volts. They're the options you can have with a range of amps through that. Today we've got two here to show you, and they are very different. You've got obviously the 3625 36 volt 25 amp, and you've got the BCS 4820, which is the 48 volt 20 amp. You'll find these products on the catalogue on page 11. There they are. Also a link below, description field, to the online catalogue. These particular chargers don't come with their leads. Leads are optional. You'll be able to custom get your leads from also the brochure or talking to Durst here in Sydney. Why? Because most people will wall mount these or custom fit these according to their needs and requirements, so you don't actually need to worry about a plug and play lead system. One of the things it does have is again the ability to wet cell charge a lead acid battery, a calcium battery, or an AGM lithium battery up to 90%. Again, it doesn't fully charge the lithium because of the algorithm protects that lithium, and that's something that's very special with these particular chargers. You can also option for a wall unit panel, which is a remote wall panel which can turn on and off. It's a touch button. It's a beautiful unit, all German switching, and it has a really nice long lead. So if you want to mount this inside a boat or inside some sort of workshop, you can actually isolate the power and turn the power on with that particular wall unit. That again is in the instruction booklet below. You can check that out. Okay, with these particular chargers, there's obviously you can do a half charge. You can also do a full charge on these. The reason you'd like to do the half charge is because you might want to actually isolate the power from the amps from 80 amps to 40 amps. Another thing that's very unique to these particular chargers, and that is that it's got a load mode. And what does that mean? It means essentially it makes it into a power supply, so it bypasses the algorithm of the actual of the setting in the system, and this allows a sort of constant voltage to be applied to the actual device or the vehicle or the battery. Why would you need that? Because obviously sometimes you might be a car dealership, you want to have a constant power supply. You don't want an algorithm repeating that cycle process over periods of days. You want a constant supply of power to the battery. Obviously very uniquely used in situations where you might be doing an upgrade on a car, on a software program. You don't want that battery to cycle, you want it to be constant. So by doing that, you just set the switch on here on the mode. There's instructions here how to click the setting. Essentially this goes down to 1, setting is 0, and the fourth setting is 0, and that code will then allow that to be in a bypass mode. They're designed for more your industrial heavy duty circumstance. They don't come with leads because most times customers will have that already set up for their particular requirements, and you don't need to sort of prepare that for the customer. But if you do need the leads, they're in the link below. You can get all the same leads, the actual clamps or the permanent leads for this, as well as a range of other custom type options. Like for instance, the wall panel here comes with a 10 meter lead, and it will be able to isolate on and off, German switching, extremely high quality, so you can isolate that into a boat or into a back of a warehouse and switch it on when you need to charge. Again, it's a fully automatic switch mode, super smart charger. What does that mean? It means it analyzes through an algorithm when it receives that signal from the battery, and it will either charge it if it's really low, or hit it with a bulk charge, or it will then go an absorption rate charge, which keeps a constant average charge. Then it goes into a float charge. Once the battery is fully charged, it will then monitor that and maintain that battery at that required level with minimal cycle charges. It's a very clever system indeed. What's more important with these particular range, the BCS has what's called load mode. Now what load mode is, in the front here you have an algorithm clicking adjustment setting. So for instance, with this particular one, you can adjust it to numerous particular adaptations. When you put the switch down to 0 and 0 on number 1 and 4, you will go into load mode. What does that do? It sort of bypasses the algorithm and just gives a constant supply of amps to that battery. Circumstances where that will be used is in car dealerships, where you want to not cycle and discharge the battery numerous times over a few months. You want to keep the current going through. In workshops where you're doing vehicle upgrades for software, you want that constant charge going through, of the 13 amps. You don't want to have that cycle charging cut in, cut out all the time. It's a wonderful feature for this, and it makes it an extremely good option charger for those that want to have a constant sort of power supply. The BCS range will also do the acid lead battery, the wet cell as we know them. Of course, the calcium batteries, the AGM lithium batteries, again to 90%, not fully charged. There's no exclusive lithium chargers in this range, but you'll do the 90% range of those particular batteries. If you do need a one-stop shop with the leads, you want to just have it as a mobile unit, I'd advise you looking at the BCD range. We'll talk about that in another overview product video, but just to show you, here it is. It's obviously a very reasonably lightweight charger, and it comes with its outside housing. This one's in a grey format, you can get it in yellow. It has a dual Anderson plugs on the front. You can do a half charge. This is an 80 amps, so with a half charge you'll get 40 amps and 40 amps. Again, it's just a nice, robust, very solid unit. Essentially the same exact charger, but encased in a sort of heavy duty industrial case with a handle. So it's beautiful. So we'll do a whole product review on the BCD range. So with the BCS range, you haven't got the LCD screen on the back like you have with the BCSA range, but they are more your heavy duty. A lot of companies are just screwing them in the wall and using them as a load mode power supply, as well as you can click it back to charge mode with that very sophisticated algorithm they do on the charging. There's a numerous amount of leads you can get. You can check the description field for the catalog to get the leads you require for this particular product. This is another Durst product overview of the industrial superchargers of the BCS range. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next video.